In this video, we're going to learn how to use the jQuery UI to create a progress bar. So first of all, we're going to create a div and we're going to give it an ID. Okay, let's call it progress. Then to use the jQuery UI method, we are going to access the div using its ID, and the method is progress bar. Pretty straightforward. Okay. So you can see our progress bar there, but since we haven't used any properties yet, we don't see any anything inside the bar. So one property is the value. So we can choose a value between 0 and 100. So if we set that to 25, for example, we can see that's we've got 25% progress. All right. Okay. So now we're gonna write some code so that we click on a button, and our progress bar will just get filled from 0 to 100%. So let's create a button right after the div. Okay. And let's put some text there, run. Okay, and okay, so our value at the beginning is going to be 0, right? And now we're gonna write some code so that we can go from 0 to 100. So first, we're gonna use a variable. So we're gonna declare a variable x that we are gonna set to 0. Okay, and then we're gonna access the button. So we have only one button, so we're just gonna use the button selector, right like that, and we're going to use the click method, and then we're going to define the function we need to run in there. So we can have a label in there. So when we click on the button, we can have a label showing in progress, for example, and then after that we can start filling the bar from 0 to 100. So let's create a label inside the div. Okay, so let's just create another div inside our div. Okay, and give it an ID, label. So when we click on the button, we're gonna add some text to the label. Okay, so we're gonna access our label div using its ID, and we're going to use the text method. Okay, and we're going to add some text there, so we're going to say in progress, for example. Okay, so let's try make sure it's working. So if you click on run, so you can see the label showing in progress. We can style the label if you want to. So we can have the label in the middle there. Okay. Okay, so let's go for... Okay, we're going to set the position property to absolute, and we can set the left property to 45%, for example. Okay, that looks good. All right. Okay, so if we click on the button, okay, the label is there. Okay. Now we are going to use the set interval function so that we keep increasing x and setting the value of the progress bar to x. So at the beginning is 0, and then we're going to go to 1, and we set the value to 1, and so on until we get to 100. Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to we can declare a variable called progress, and we set that to set interval. Okay, and as we have seen earlier, so we need a function there and a second parameter in milliseconds. So every 100 milliseconds we're going to run the code inside this function. Okay, so first we're going to increase x by 1, and then we're going to access the progress bar, but before we do that, let's change the label as well. So let's access the label and put some text there. So text this time is going to be x. Okay, and let's add a percentage as well. So we're just going to add a string there showing a percentage. Okay, and then now let's access our progress bar using its ID, and we're gonna use the progress bar method. Okay, but this time we're gonna use it to change the value of an option. So we need 3 parameters there. So the first one is option. Okay, the second parameter is value, because we are changing the value of the progress bar, and the last parameter is going to be x, because we're setting the value of the progress bar to x. Okay, fine. Now we need to add a condition to see when we're gonna stop the set interval function using the clear interval function. So if x is greater than 99, then we are sure that the progress bar is filled. Okay, so we can just say if x is greater than 99, then we're going to use the function clear interval of progress. Okay, fine. So let's try this and make sure it's working. So if we click on the button, so we have seen the in progress text, and now let's make sure it's working. Okay, perfect. We can add some delay between showing the progress in the progress bar and showing the labels, because it goes so quick at the beginning. So if we do it again, you will see the label showing in progress, and then right after that quickly we can see the counter going. So we can add the delay there. So to do that, we'll take all this code, okay, and we're gonna put it inside another function. So to have a delay, if you remember, we need set time out, and again we're going to have 2 parameters there. First one is a function, and the second one is going to be a duration in milliseconds. So we're going to have a function, and we will put our code inside this function, and then let's say we wait for 1 second, and then we start, and then we execute the code inside the function, and then we're just going to paste our code in there. Okay, so let's try now and make sure it's working. So if you click on the button, so now we can see in progress. So it stayed there for a second, and then we can see the progress bar getting filled. Okay. All right. So in the next video, we'll have a look at select menu.